Ba-da-bum-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-boom. Hey everyone, how you doing? Imran from Web Squadron, 11th of December, Wednesday. I'm only going live because I haven't been live for about, I don't know, 2 or maybe even 3 weeks. Might just be 2 weeks. I'm not sure. I don't often keep tabs on exactly when I've done something and go back and check. Been busy with loads of stuff. Not just tutorials, but client work and other things as well. And I hope you've enjoyed some of the videos that we've put out in the last 2 or 3 weeks, especially the one I put out on Monday, which was about how to highlight unused images. And I hope you enjoyed that. I know that's not going to work for everyone, and I'll discuss that during the live chat. I'm sure it will come up as a question. But for a majority and a lot of people, it's worked wonders, and it works. But I'm going to talk about this later on about code snippets and stuff like that. Hey Valentine, how you doing? Um, yeah, I've not been live for a while, just been busy, and there's been moments where I could have gone live, but I chose not to, basically just because I wanted to get on with some other stuff. And when you do have stuff to do, sorry, let me rephrase that. Let me start again. There were moments when I could have gone live, but it was a case of, or I could do this instead. And sometimes when you're neck deep in doing things, you're better off getting the other smaller things done before they all mount up. Hey Bangle, how you doing? Hey Robert. Hey Mike. Go Web and Canada. Um, I actually lost nearly 3 days of my life in the last, well, since let me get this right. Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday, 3 total days where I've been experimenting with two different problems. One of the problems is to do with the masonry gallery. So, you know, when you add the gallery widget and you get the masonry effect, and if you don't, because you have different sized images, you then get this like, it's not aligned at the bottom. It's aligned at the top, but when you get to the bottom, you have a staggered effect because it's masonry. And I'm really close to finding a way to make it bottom align. It's just taking every time I feel like I've got the solution, I then realize, no, this ain't going to work. So I keep going back upon myself. And another thing I was looking at was a question was raised yesterday about shape dividers, about getting, when you have like a curved effect, trying to blend two sections where both of them are images is very, very tricky, especially when you have images. And a lot of what I'm saying ain't going to make sense to a lot of people unless you know what I'm talking about. And I lost loads of time yesterday trying to find a way to do it. And no one online, in fact, it's been an Elementor problem and a problem with other page builders for, I don't know, what are we talking about, 6 years? And even Elementor, I've not cracked it yet either. So yeah, you know, um, Valentine, you know what I mean. It's like I just could not let it go. Yesterday, I spent an hour. I couldn't let it go. I think in total, I spent close to 8 hours. Because then at 9 p.m. at night, I booted up my laptop and I sat there for another 2.5 hours, still trying to go, no, I've got to crack it. And in the end, I thought, forget it. And then this morning, I did another hour on it. And I thought, no, what am I doing? I'm wasting too much time here because it's a problem someone else had on a forum. It's not my problem. It's not for my clients. I'm probably never going to use it. But when when you think you have a way of solving something and you think you can do it, you just can't let it go. Please let me know if the sound and the audio, the sound and the audio, the sound and the visual are okay. And I hope they are doing pretty well. Bangle says, a little bit confused with padding and what should I use in every container? Look, simple way to look at it, okay, is if you imagine, right, that's your section, okay? Obviously, your margin's going to push it left, right, top, and bottom, okay? Your padding is is inside, right? You know what I'm talking about. I don't have to explain margin and padding. Your widgets are the furniture in the room. So this is your house, this section. The padding, I'm not explaining this very well. Your child container or whatever you've got inside sits within the room inside the house. No, that's a really bad scenario. But look, padding, okay? I always go by 20 pixel on the left and right for the desktop, the tablet, and the mobile. The top and bottom, well, that depends on what you're going for. What is the look you're trying to present? You know, do you need to have loads of space? Have you got two sections with contrasting colors? So you got to add a bit more padding to space them out. It all comes down to your design. But if you watch my videos, I think for the last 3 years, I've consistently used 20 pixel. I don't bother with 1EM, 1REM or anything like that. Just because I'm so old school, I just stick 20 pixel. And when you do it on the desktop, it will follow that through for your tablet and your mobile. So, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Pixels, Bangle. 20 pixel, left and right. Your top and bottom is design dependent. So I can't say to you, yeah, do 100, do 50 or anything like that. Depends on the design. All right. So I released a video on Monday about how to delete unused images. And what it does is it highlights the images you're not using with the word delete. I then updated it several times with a better version, whereby if you want to get rid of the word delete, you can do. Number 2, it doesn't delete them. You manually delete them. So some people have said to me, oh, it's a false positive. It's highlighted an image that I know I'm using. Well, fine, don't delete it then. I think some people fail to understand that what this does is it highlights. And if you now know those images are being used, fine, don't delete them. Plain and simple. Like one person did say it highlighted loads. They went and deleted it. And I was like, but the whole point of it is it protects you. Because some plugins out there, you run them and then it's got rid of them. And then you realize, oh no, I needed that one. So as long as you use a staging site, you're okay. But some people go and delete. And I'm like, no, it highlights it. You then get to make the choice. You do a search for delete. It might bring up 50 images, 30 images, I don't know. And you should be able to scan them and go, no, that's a false positive. I'm going to keep that. But the other ones, yeah, let's ditch them. Let's get rid of them. And always test on a staging website. Hey, Crater Louie, how you doing? Great to have you here. Chris WP Magin from Bangkok. Great to have you here too. Hey, Phil. Yo, 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 my main man. Smiley Jack, padding is like a rounded wall. Yeah, it's like a rounded floor near wall. The insulation. Normally I say insulation, but I'm always unsure if people will understand what I mean. So your margin is the perimeter of the room. The padding is the insulation, the decoration, the wall coverings and all of that. And then your widgets are the furniture inside the room. Valentine, I'm glad the code worked for you. I've tested it. I stress tested it on a website that's got over 1,300 images. It's what I call my heavy website. So I've got this website that I never share with anyone. It's got like over 60 plugins on there. So whenever like an update comes through, I test it there. And if that website does not break, that's like my proper stress testing website. It's so dated in the way it looks and the amount of codes it's got on there. I'm surprised it still functions. Many, many times I've had the white screen of death of it and I have to quick roll back or get rid of a code. Margin is a space between you and your neighbor. That's actually a really good way to look at it. I mean, I tend to say your section is your house, right? And then your padding is going to be the insulation of your walls. And then your child container are the rooms. And then the widgets are the furniture, you know. And you might have a sub-child container, which would then be a wardrobe in the room. And then what have you got in the wardrobe? Oh, you got another widget. That's a good way to look at it. But yeah, back to the code snippets and stuff. I then realized, after seeing a lot of the comments coming on, that I don't think people fully understand that whenever you decide to install a brand new plugin or you use a code snippet, and it might not even be a code snippet, HTML, you know, could be some JavaScript, could be something like that, just something. So many people, hey Zaki, so many people, they go and put it on their live production website. You have to assess the risk, right? What is the risk factor involved here? You know, maybe you're installing a plugin to create duplicates. You could argue, well, that's pretty lightweight, but is it? how do you know it's not going to affect your website? How do you know you're not going to get the white screen of death? You don't really. And if you've got an e-commerce website and then you get that white screen of death, if there's a lot of people visiting your website, do you really want them to see that? Because it might be 5 or 10 minutes before you go and sort your backup up. Or what if, like, you didn't even realize, you went and checked and it looked all right, but you didn't realize that if you purge the cache, now there is a problem, maybe. So there is this, like, I don't want to call it a rookie mistake, but I do think it is, because it's not even a rookie mistake. People that have been using WordPress for years still do this. I think there is an ignorant mistake. So you install a plugin, you add a bit of code, you go and delete, you do stuff because you hope everything will be all right. When the simple step was just to do a staging site, check, yep, all okay. Make a backup before you then do it on the current website. I think there's a bit of ignorance there. And the same goes with, some people said to me after I released that snippet, in fact, this is a long-running issue. I released a snippet on how to stop duplicate images. So when you load an image into your media library, it will load the original and the 150 by 150, the thumbnail. You won't get the other sizes. Even when you untick the box, WordPress will still go and create a 768 or 1300 or 3000. It goes and creates loads of shit in your background that you can't even see in the WordPress media library. So we had a snippet to do that. We've got a snippet for converting your images into WebP. I go on and on and on about bulk resize photos.com. There's other plugins out there. I go on and on about that one. Like every bloody year I go on about it. But still, a lot of people just go and dump a PNG JPEG in. A lot of people have not considered the duplicate images you can't see in the media library, but they're in your back end. And they are building and building and building up every time you drag in an image. So some people have said, well, we use your snippet, but I've got like 2,000 images. And I'm really, really sorry that maybe your website lagged. Your website slowed down. Should have been a staging site. I made that clear in the video and in the description, and I repeated it probably 3 times in the video I released. But if you are not kind of like, look, what you've got for a legacy website, you can almost say if you've made mistakes with what you loaded, unless you manually go in and get rid of those images, you're kind of a little bit stuck. But now, going forward from now, you should be WebP images. You should be adding in a snippet to ensure you don't get duplicate images, just the original and the 150 by 150. Trust me, you'll be fine because WebPs are small, okay? I know a lot of people say, yeah, but it'd be good to have the medium and the large. And I'm like, yeah, if you've got a big PNG. And now you need to have that condensed size. But if you've got a WebP, you're okay. Trust me, people. Okay, trust me. So, the WebP, the snippet to get rid of the duplicates, custom loading your fonts, make sure you're putting in your WAF2s and all of that. Make sure you're not Google fetching, whether it's like SVGs or font awesomes or whatever. Just make sure you're not doing any fetching like that, unless you know it's going to be super duper fast, but still don't fetch. And make sure that you try to keep tabs on the images you add. I would say this code snippet I've done, you could use it, right? And every now and again, when you know you're doing updates or something to your website, you could run it and it will highlight. And what's so fucking good about this code snippet is that, let's say it goes and highlights 20 images, and then you realize you're going to keep them all. There's a button next door to remove the prefix. All right? I updated it. It's inside the code. So you're not left with the word delete, because originally it did leave it there and you had to manually get rid of it. And I was like, well, you got 5 images, easy to do. You got 1,000 images or 100. That's a pain in the ass, right? I would love to improve the code though. Update it so it can handle unused SVGs, unused PDFs, unused video files as well, because some of us may have stuff like that loaded in. And if you're not using it, Why do you want to take up space in your files and database? Free up the space. A lot of people say to me, but why do I need to do that? I'm not using it. It sits in my media library. Who cares? No, because every time you make a backup, it's adding that in. And if you're not careful and you're doing a backup of a backup of a backup, your size grows each time because the backup contains the previous backup, contains the previous backup. Do you remember that story I told you about someone where their website was like 20 gig because it kept adding the backups, compounding them all together? Enoch Nyarbari, how you doing? Phil, why don't you just add some meta to the DB entry, then the file's names are untouched? Not thought of that, Phil. I'll have to have a look at that. I mean, to be honest, it only adds, when I say it changes, it doesn't change the file name. It adds it to the title. So if your file name for your image was, oh God, I can't think of any words now. I can't think of any word. Your file name was Apple. Your file name will remain Apple, but the title of the image will now be delete_Apple. So it just touches it there, kind of thing. And then you're okay. But it works. And I think that if you are a little bit more prudent over images you add and don't add, that code snippet, I think, is a pretty big thing. In fact, someone this morning took the code and created a plugin out of the code. I mean, it's not on the WordPress repository. They actually went and made a plugin and they let me know. And I was like, that's cool. I'm not bothered. It's an open source bit of code. But if I decide to do updates or whatnot, I will. But I'm not going to do it just because you want. Just to make clear, I don't work for you. But hey, if you want to make a plugin out of the code, fine, go and do that. Enough engineering. If you use Lightspeed Cacher, if you use Lightspeed Server and cache, it creates shitload of images and they are not visible immediately, but hidden. Yeah, well, and that's the other thing about the snippet and anything I ever create or work on. There is so much subjective variation, right? It's very difficult to create a solution that's going to work for every scenario. Like if you do an Elementor add-on, you expect it to work with Elementor. And if they update, you need to make sure you're in tune with them. But if you create a snippet to work for WordPress, the admin, the images, optimization, it will work for some. But then someone might be using a theme or a plugin or another optimization tool or another code snippet or another code or something which messes things up or doesn't work properly. And someone said to me that they were using a image optimization plugin. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. They were using something, and that meant it wasn't working with my code snippet. And my simple answer was, well, I can't predict every single different type of plugin. You know, carry on using that or get rid of it. I don't know, right? But I do think there is a little bit of ignorance with web designers, developers, people, designers, everyone, okay? In that there are things that we could do from the get-go. If you didn't know it now, you know it now. You didn't know it then, I'll let you off, but you know now, right? You custom load your fonts, your WebP, your images. Get rid of your duplicates, right, with a free code snippet. Go to our learn.websquadron.co.uk website. Scroll down the page. There's a button called Open the Snippets Pack. It's free, right? It's totally free. Go and install the code snippets. You can pick and choose. Even when you install 22 snippets, you can pick and choose what you want to keep or not keep, right? It's up to you. You don't have to worry about it. In fact, I need to update that and make sure I add the delete unused images to that. So I need to update it. I'll do that probably today or tomorrow. But you got no excuse. Hey, Kaiser, how you doing? But I'm surprised when I see some websites that are built brand new, like very, very recently. And I know they've been watching my videos because I recognize their names when they show up and pose a question in the Web Squadron Facebook group or just generally directly to me or as a comment somewhere else. And they go, my website's like really, really slow, or, you know, the performance is like 40% or something. And then I inspect the URL and I can clearly see they're not using next gen images. They haven't custom loaded their fonts. They're relying on a third party optimization plugin. So a lot of them will go for NitroPack or WP Rocket, but the score's still not high. And I'm like, you can't always rely just on a optimization plugin. It says it will do all of this stuff for you, but there are simple, easy things that you can do that you know are going to help and going to work. Because you may surprise yourself and then realize I don't need to use the optimization plugin. Because even optimization plugins carry bloat. Auto-optimize. I first started using that 3 years ago. I hate auto-optimize now. I recommended it to everyone in my 2022 video, this page speed. I hate it now. You know why? Because it adds this auto-optimize prefix to certain things. And even though it's an optimization plugin, it doesn't even sort those issues and things out. So they get flagged up in your page speed insights as dragging your score down. It's such a pain that even optimization plugins can do more damage than good. So help yourself out, right? Help yourself out. Very good. Yeah, do you know what, Phil? You did mention that last time, make a mega plugin. Maybe we should, right? Maybe we should do that. Mega plugin with, of course, though, I would want it to always be free. I would never want to put a price on it. But there's always, I'm sure things can be improved, right? Nice idea. I might get in touch, Phil. Phil, by the way, Phil, you're gonna have to DM me or email me your email. I don't think I've got your email, Phil, unless I have. I don't know. I'll have to check. Hey, Paul, how are you doing? By the way, Paul is putting the finishing touches to his course. It does use bricks, but I've seen some of the screenshots on it when he's done his marketing, or what we call the hype marketing. You know, we build up the hype. It's coming, people. Get ready. And it looks really, really good. So for a lot of people that have said to me, why are you not doing a bricks course? It's mainly because I like to let the experts or Paul handle it. And Paul's pretty good on that. Devin, good morning from Toronto. What code did you first start programming in? Ooh, mine was actually SQL. I'm in a bit of Dream Weavering then as well. I didn't like Dreamweaver. I really didn't like it. Because I think at that time I was learning SQL, you know, structured query language, Transact SQL for my job, data mining, data warehousing, and all of that. And it really messed up my head with trying to, number one, be like an advanced Excel user, creating macros and stuff to speed things up. Also using Access databases that I hated, which is why I was moving over to Transact SQL. Understanding and learning warehousing and data mining and querying. I mean, there was a bit of, you know, HTML, all of that stuff. And I seriously, there were days when I was getting my languages mixed up and I start writing. And I'm like, what am I doing? I'm creating a div while I'm trying to query a database. What am I doing? This is stupid. You don't need to do that here. But yeah, right, Kaiser, Open Lightspeed web server. Yep, okay. Bricks is only a tiny portion and can be easily moved out to, there you go. I think it's about, so Paul does cover front end forms, don't you? Submissions and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting few days. Well, not few days, I lie. 5 days. Where I feel like I've achieved stuff, but I was also kicking myself last night in like how much time I feel like I've wasted as well. Like 3 days in the last 5 days has been spent with me trying to get solutions for problems like the masonry gallery in Elementor and bottom aligning everything. I'm partially there, but I'm not fully there. And the whole thing with shape dividers where you have images. Again, I thought I was close, and then I realized I'm not close at all. You know, it was a challenge. I wanted to solve it. And from a learning point of view, I've learned more about what I can and can't do, or where's the limit within what you can do with a bit of JavaScript or CSS and all of that. There's a limit. And maybe one day AI will be able to take it further, because even AI was struggling. In fact, AI, ChatGPT 4.0 and Claude AI were totally mucking up. And I was often having to write from scratch and go, right, now use this. And then they still went and mucked up. But there's a lot of learning when you find a challenge or a problem. But there comes a point where you have to go, this is not for a client. This is not for me. This is because someone has asked a question on a forum and no one has given a decent enough answer to solve the problem. Well, here's the thing. You go to GitHub, this has been a problem for 6 odd years. And even the admin, Elementor, says, you know, there's been people jumping in and out going, how do we do this? How do we do this? People have ideas, but none of them ever work. And I think I'm going to be able to solve it. I will solve, well, I don't know, maybe I will. I feel like I do think I've solved and found easier ways to do some stuff that some people were either churning out a complicated method or saying, you can't do it. You got to pay for a premium plugin. And that's where I go back with, well, hold on a moment. You're saying you can't do it, but you can do it in a premium plugin. Well, then obviously you can do it. And one of the things I've started doing more and more and more is that if a plugin is available on the GitHub, or you can get the backend code, get the code, chuck it into AI, and get AI to explain it to you. And I do say, hey, Mia, not seen you for a while. How are you? I always say to the AI, explain this to me and how you're getting this to work as if I'm a 6-year-old. Literally. And the way it explains stuff is so funny. It's so fun to read. Like, it sort of goes into, like, imagine you're a dinosaur and you want to go duh, 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 duh. And I'm like thinking, where did the dinosaur come from? I said, explain the code, but hey, I let it go. And it gets there, you know, it gets there with this story. It's quite, it's amusing. It really is fun. And there have been times, one day I will do a video of this, right, where I've literally got AI, like ChatGPT, like speaking back to me. It's fun. You know, so there have been occasions where I've taken a plugin and I've said, like, based on just this code, the PHP bit, could we refine this to do something else, or to make it shorter or more efficient, or to make it better or easier or more universally applicable across any WordPress website? So it's not just Elementor, it's not just Bricks or Gutenberg, you know, universal. And AI is pretty good at that. Except the problems I was trying to solve in the last 5 days, it was cocking up left, right, and center. And there isn't even a proper plugin to do what I'm going to do. But I will get there. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I released videos that have plagued me for 3 years. So there was the whole vertical scroll one. I've now forgotten what the others were. I have so much that I work on and try to solve that my brain betrays me quite often. I mean, I lose my train of thought. But there were things that bothered me for 3 years. On and off, I kept jumping in and out, jumping in and out. Ah, that was it. The inverted curved border radius. That was another one. They plague me. And then I crack it. And when I crack it, and it works, and you test it, and you try hack it a bit to put it in the worst case scenario, and it still works, boy, do I get excited. I'm literally like that. You know, smiling and dancing on my chair, giving myself back pain. How are things, Mia? Though, like, you're gonna have to forgive me. I've forgotten what your partner's name was now. How's things with her, and how's things with your animals as well? Kaiser, he says that I am the only reason I haven't looked into other editors. Are you planning to migrate? I I've done quite a fair amount. Oh god, I've done loads of videos on bricks. I must have over 50 odd videos on bricks. Like big tutorials and then mini tutorials and step-by-step tutorials. I've done loads on bricks. I haven't done any bricks in well over a year now. I think it's over a year. I'm trying to think at the point where I made the switch. I think it was around October, November last year. I decided to focus. Let me get this right. Yeah, I think about that time I started to focus on just Elementor. Mainly because I felt there was so much more that I actually wanted to get done. And I feel like I wanted to build upon what I do. And also, I had just built the Elemental course as well. So I had released that. I had ideas for doing other stuff. Like the CSS course was always in the back of my mind, but I didn't release it until what, 2 months ago, I think now? No, in October. Yeah, nearly 2 months. So I always felt like I there was more to do. And I was worried that if I was like doing like loop grids and bento style, um, the calculated logic, the taxonomy filters, and all of that, that I I I, I like to find a way of doing something, and then I evolve it. And then I might go off to do something else, but still link to Elemental, which actually helps to then make this better, or it's like a stepping ladder thing. And I got a little bit worried that if I jump back into doing bricks or another page builder, that I might then get caught up doing stuff there. And then you're almost like that. And we did also hit this point where it was almost like every 2 or 3 weeks. That's a lie. It's nearly every month. There was like a beta version. And sorry for yawning. There was like so I've been in that scenario where when I was doing like a mixture of bricks videos and Elementor, there were updates, and sometimes I struggled a little bit with making sure that when I came back to say bricks or the other way round, I remembered what to do and how to do it. There is a slight thing where you I don't want to say waste time, but you start looking for stuff and then you go, oh no, that's bricks. Can't do that here. Or you can do it in a different way. The same when you go to Elementor, when you're building and you go, oh, global class. No, got to, oh no, yeah, sorry, no, we ain't got it. Oh, yeah, do your CSS framework and all of that. Who knows in the future? But at the moment, at some point, Elementor is going to switch to Elemental version 4. I don't know when. I don't know what's up their sleeve. We have heard about the global class system. It was revealed as on the roadmap in January 2023. Not heard a thing since. We did have a minor update in July 2023 where they said, yep, it's on the cards. But again, radio silence. Now, I think it was 2 weeks ago, it was mentioned again. I can't remember where, but someone from Elementor mentioned something about they're in testing mode with that. Now, I am gonna put my finger on it. I'm not gonna make a bet, but I'm gonna put my finger on it that version 4 of Elementor will be the global class thing. But they've got to wait for that, because is it going to be so big and major? When we went from version 2 to version 3, version 3, the big thing was it was the global fonts and the global colors. There was something they did. I can't remember, but there was loads of fallout because loads of websites, your colors reset or disappeared, or your fonts, things went doolally messed up. Because we are now at version, where are we? Version 26. Are we at version 26? Yeah, version 26. At some point, we're going to get version 4. And I think the global class system's coming. I think that's going to be the big, big thing. But Phil says version 4 needs to be a rewrite, no upgrade path. Anything within 3 should be security updates. I do agree with that. I totally agree with that. Fabric, Texture, how are you doing? But yeah, it'd be nice to have a bit of an update. I'm friendly with loads of members of the Elementor team. I don't hide that. But even they won't tell me. So I'm looking forward to when we get that, but I hope it's not going to be a huge learning curve. I hope they've looked at other plugins, most notably Bricks, because they have a pretty good way of doing it. The first time I experienced the Bricks class system, I was like really, really blown away by it. Just how easy it was to use. Like, why is Elementor not doing this? Why are standard Gutenbergy not doing this as well? It's so simple. So I hope, though, that if they do that in version 4, I hope when they do that, that it's intuitive. It doesn't break existing websites. You can use it on an existing website. It's like the whole Flex container thing, right? That came out. I am yawning a lot. I don't know why I'm yawning. Maybe it might be I got up at 5 a.m. this morning. Catches up with you when you get up so early. And actually today, oh no, I took my watch off. Today I've burned over 3,000 calories. I've been on the stepper a lot. But when the Flexbox came out, there were some websites that broke because it was all, the alpha, the beta and all of that. And even when it was in the final mode, there was little glitches here and there. But who knows? We'll see. Hey, Wiki! Or Mark and Barbara. Just back from Germany, going anywhere? No. You guys do go on a fair amount of like trips. Was this a business trip? Or was this just a trip? Because I'm pretty sure you do travel quite a bit. You and Barbs. Sard, how much should you charge for a basic premium website? Well, on a marketplace, look, if you're going to charge on a marketplace like Upwork and Fiverr, you are now amongst the race to the bottom crowd. So if the people in that marketplace, look, you've answered your own question, right? Let me give you an example, right? You sell apples and you sell them in a market full of apple sellers. And all the apple sellers sell at 50p, or no, let's do it quickly. Let's do it in dollar. $1 per apple. And you go, oh, I'm going to charge $10. Ain't going to work, is it? Why would people who don't know you walk in and go to you? Unless your apples have been reported as the best. These will help you to live 20 years longer. Then people will go and get it for you. You could even charge more. But you look at your marketplace. You look at what they're charging. But that's why I don't like to be in a marketplace, because then my prices are pulled down. Why do I want to be... why do I want to put myself in an arena where people are charging low? Now, if people in that marketplace are charging $5,000 per apple, well, you're in the right place, my friend. But I bet you're not in the right place. So you got to look at your marketplace kind of thing. You are right, though, Paul. Elementor are far behind because, like, that global class system, it's like, come on, share something with us. Let us see what you got. Wiki says we're going to be full-time travelers. Oh, what, really? But since COVID, everything... Oh, were you going to be like nomads? So nomad designers, whereby, you might have a home or an area, but you're literally like just on the move kind of thing. Must love traveling was going to be our full-time thing, but things have changed. Well, I don't know. I mean, I do wonder, though, about how well you could run a business when you're traveling a lot. As long as you can get an internet connection, I suppose, and as long as you can access your bank accounts because it's online, as long as you can get on with things, it could be done, right? But I know you do a lot of server stuff. So then you got to think about, would you still need to have local servers or things like that? Yeah, good point by Fabric about the whole Webflow font variable colors. CM, you're late to the party. You're not late to the party. You're not late. I've actually been absent from doing live chats for about 3 weeks. A lot of the time it's just down to I've got loads of stuff on. And then I have a quiet moment, a little moment, and then I'm like, well, shall I go live and just have a bit of a rant or a chat? Or do I do something else? And recently I've been doing other stuff. If you are part of the Web Squadron Facebook group, you would have seen a link I posted. You can get it off Twitter or loads of places about an update with regards to automatic WordPress, Matt Mullenweg, and WordPress. I said it again. WP Engine. If I keep saying that, it goes against the whole thing with what WP Engine and Automatic are fighting about. So a judge has granted, well, it's gone in favor of WP Engine. This is preliminary. It could change, no doubt Automatic are going to come back and say, appeal or whatever they do. But at the moment, hey, Eden, but at the moment, the WP Engine Automatic is swung back in favor of WP Engine. And I am waiting to see a response. So Brian Gardner from WP Engine, he has put out a tweet going, he's so happy to share this. Other people have shared it. Other people have said, yep, well, what did Automatic expect and all of that? But I'm waiting for Automatic people. And this is something I really hate. So Automatic people, if you're watching, I really hate this. You're either afraid, scared, or don't give a toss. But when your company or organization is involved in injunctions and court stuff, you have to give a shit, right? You may have signed NDAs, you may have said you can't do X, Y, Z, and if you have, fair play, but then say that. Because at the moment, if I worked for someone and something was happening in the courts or whatever, I would say something. I would speak up. Because for a lot of people out there who are not employed by WP Engine or Automatic, they've never met Matt Mullenweg. I never have. Never even spoken to him one-to-one, right? We need to know what the real people on the ground think and feel. Otherwise, we just have third-party commentators like me and other people reading articles and forming their assumptions, or they stick it into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT comes back and says, the computer says no, and all of that. We need to hear from the real people. So, what's your thoughts with what's going on? My video about the injunction goes, cool, Paul. Oh, I'll have to make sure I watch that, my friend. Well, the thing is, though, right, is I hope they don't block me. But if they ever do, that's just one less voice that says a lot about them, because we are not attacking them. I've said it so many times. Never direct personal attacks against the company, Matt. They are people. Don't turn it into cat and mouse games and anything like that. But I really have this what's the word? Resentment to the fact there's a lot of people that whenever these events happen, like movement or courts or injunctions or hearings, what happens is we see a lot of promotional stuff come out. Hey, WordPress, we're loving it. We're doing this. We're putting this out. We're creating this. And it's literally like you are ignorant of a problem. And it's what you have. What's the word? What's the word? There's a term for it. What's the term? Help me out here, people. What's the term? you know, when organizations have a problem inside, you know, but they don't talk about it or address it. What's the term? Institutionalized, right? It's like when some people say there's institutionalized racism, but people didn't want to address it, or there's institutionalized ageism, or there's institutionalized sexism, or something, right? There's something right happening, and people know it, but no one says anything. No one wants to whistle blow. No one wants to raise their head and go, look, I know I'm only like the little guy here, and you're the managers, and you're the CEO, and you're the heads of department. I know I'm the little guy. I'm nothing. But when there's a problem, if you don't raise it, or you don't say, we can see this happening and we need to talk about this, or we need to sort this out, the problem just gets bigger and worse and becomes a problem. Anyway, to be honest, Mark, is it Mark I'm talking to? Or is it Barbara? I think it's Mark. The way it reads, it sounds like Mark. Barbara would be much nicer. She would be like, oh, leave Matt alone. But Mark's like, yeah, Matt will say something stupid at state of the word. Ha ha ha. That sounds like Mark. I can literally imagine him right now. I can actually imagine him sat there with a drink, and he's like in fact, he's got a bottle in his hand as he writes that. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Phil. His legal team will be looking at it. But I guarantee you, in the next few days or more, we won't hear anything from automatic team members because they'll just pussyfoot around it. There, I said it. They're pussyfoot around it. They're cowards. They're going to be cowards about it. They won't address it. They won't say what their real thoughts are. You know, do they agree? Do they disagree? Do they think, yeah, we should have been a bit different to how we react? I'm not against anyone. I am not saying WP Engine are completely innocent either. I'm just saying that you don't have to take sides, but hey, Eddie, what I'm trying to say is if there's a problem and you're not going to talk about the problem, fine. You don't have to. No one can force you to. But then what you don't do is start acting like everything is amazing. Everything is awesome. You don't have to do that. Because then it's clear if you're really if you're not an analyst, you won't see it. I analyze everything, right? Problem is happening and there's a new event, and then lo and behold, within 24 hours, we love WordPress posts start coming up. You don't want to address the problem, but you are going to inflate something to negate the problem. Well, that shows intention. So either be honest. Anyway, you get the idea, right? You get the idea. I think I've kind of made myself clear, but I do think there's a lot of what I call fakeness, the audacity of fakeness. But like Paul says, Matt Mullenweg does talk about freedom of speech. And that's the problem. If you directly attack Matt, I can understand why he might block. But I have seen people on Twitter who have asked a genuine question based on facts, and then they get blocked because WordPress or whoever did not like the question. And I literally am like, they did not ask anything wrong, because the original poster usually has a copy or a screenshot of what they asked. And I look at it and go, they just asked a basic question. They did not ask anything nasty. There's no trolling. There was no personal attack. They've just asked a question. So you can either debate it, or reason with it. But there has been this left-right blocking, which I think is tragic, because a lot of people who have helped WordPress get caught in this. CM, a neutral win-win outcome would be good. I can't see how mediation's going to work here. I think it's gone too far for mediation to work. Fact Fusion, here in Africa, we are really liking the decision made by Matt, even though it is immoral. But come on, who doesn't like free stuff? Hey, look. Here's the. By the way, Fact Fusion, great to have you. And if you like free stuff, you're gonna like free stuff. But here's how I will swing it around. Okay, are you a business? Are you charging to build websites or stuff? Imagine now someone taking your stuff. Now you might go, yeah, but WP Engine were doing that. No, WordPress is free. You can argue left, right, and center about the resources and all of that, but WordPress is free. I make a profit of it. Paul makes a profit of it. Eddie makes a profit of it. Loads of people are making a profit of it. So if you make a profit of it, that's off your own back, because to make a profit, you have to do the hard work. Again, you could argue, yeah, but they were using WP, so they used the name. Yeah, but still, you have to do the work. They still had to create a website. They still had to create hosting. They still had to do whatever they do. You still have to do the work, right? But now imagine that someone comes in and just takes what you've done. So you now make nothing of it. Having everything for free, if it does not harm someone. So if I give stuff away for free, and I have done many times, like the videos, my intention was never to make profit of it. So if I give it for free, it's for free. But if my intention was to make profit off something, okay, and then someone takes that away from me to give it away for free, that's what I call bullshit. Okay? That's nasty. But what you have to do is forget how much money Silver Lake make. Forget WP Engine's income and profit. Forget all of that. Forget it. Imagine someone comes in and takes you or your family's hard work that you are charging for free. How would you feel about that? That's how you got to look at it. Too many people are swayed by Silver Lake dollar signs. Ding, 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 ding. Forget that, right? Because that's the wrong way to look at it. That's a biased you've made your decision before you know the facts. But I know a lot of us, we look at the facts. Hey, I analyze, all right? I'm analytical, analytical. And for clarity, I also haven't been abused. Yeah, exactly, Paul. And that's the other thing. Paul hasn't. I've seen questions. I've seen so many other people that I've asked genuine questions and they just get swiped off the scene, blocked, deleted, no response, no answer. Hey Pierre from Paris, how are you? But that's the thing. So fact, great to have you here, and I hope you're crushing it with whatever you're doing. But just remember, okay, that if you or your family are creating stuff, or you've got a job and then your employer says, right, we're not going to pay you. What you did for me last month, you're not going to get any money because I'm going to take all of your effort for free. How would you feel about that? Because there's a difference between I'll work for free and I don't care what you do with it. If they make money off it, well, I did it for free. But when you do something to make an income or a profit, you expect to get paid back for that work. And I've had my course. Someone's pirated the course, taken all the videos, taken all the material. They've stuck it on a WhatsApp group. They even told me they did that and they wanted me to pay them to take it off. And I said, no, reported them, but they're probably still doing it. But I kind of was a bit like, forget it. I'm not going to chase this. I'm not going to get hung up on it. I will carry on doing my stuff. I'm pretty sure they've done it to the CS course as well. So if people want to go get it for free, wherever they are, they can go do that. They can do what they want. Because anyone that goes to get something for free, they were never, ever, ever going to pay for it anyway. They never were. Because if you value what someone does and what they do for you, you will pay for it. You pay for the service. You pay for the product. But if someone makes something available for free and you go and get it, you were never going to pay for it. So, kind of thing. Phil says, yeah, we had our theme null. The code was injected. Wow, good luck if you... Yeah, I mean... Backfusion says, you understand where we're coming from. I would be furious if it was me, but it doesn't make sense if they make that decision since it's their... I'm not sure I understand what you mean by that, though. It doesn't make sense if they make their decision since it's their platform. Slightly lost me there. Christmas is coming up. I hope you are, I don't know what you're doing. You're planning a big meal, family get together, presents. You can have a bit of a break from work, maybe. I don't really ever take breaks. Christmas Day, obviously. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Boxing Day, I'll be back on to cracking on with things because emails never stop. And a lot of people have said to me, yeah, forget the emails, forget the messages, forget the notifications, forget all of that. That's easy to say. But when you get loads and loads and loads coming through, like, look, I'm just going to open up my email. And since I went live, there's 13. Ah, Phil, great. You've emailed me. Just seen it. 2 of those look like they are spam. So of the 13, that's 11 to look at and deal with. So, I would love to not look at my emails, right? It's like when I'm watching Netflix. There's a show on Netflix called Black Dove. Black Doves, I think it is, with Keira Knightley. It's really good. I was not expecting it to be good. It's really, really good. I watch an episode. Then when the credits roll for the next episode about to start, I quickly grab my phone and quickly answer or check 4 or 5 emails. And then I watch episode 2. And then when that ends, while the credits are rolling, right, get on to the next one. Because there have been times where I once watched like 3 or 4 episodes of a show straight after one another, came back to loads of emails. And I hate that when it happens, right? Phil says close emails and open once every couple. In a way, that's kind of what I do. So, I'll have like a 1 hour break away from them. And then I open up and quickly respond to either let people know, nope, I'm not going to help you, or yeah, there's something else I need to do. But also it's because it's not just web related. There's other business things as well that I'm involved in. So there's other things which I would say are time dependent, health industry and stuff like that. So there is still stuff that I can't just like keep someone waiting or just forget about them. It's very complicated. Hey, Mel from Atlanta. I always say Mel from Atlanta because you always remind me that you're in Atlantic City. Eddie, during Christmas time, I want to study the Elementor 2 course. I haven't started yet. Eddie, seriously, a lot of people that were using the version 1 and then went into version 2, I think they had their eyes massively opened as to like different ways of working, because I took it up a step with a framework and more efficiency and really going to town on being able to do something once and then just watch it multiply throughout the course. Because in the version 1 course, I didn't really touch on the CSS framework. I did a tiny bit, but not properly, like full blown. Here, I've really gone to town with it. So even if you're brand new to Elementor and WordPress, you can jump in and you'll get it. If you're going from version 1 to 2, you're suddenly going to go, this is better. You'll get that transitional change in your mindset, and it will make things massively efficient. Backfusion, doesn't Matt own WordPress? Because I think he can do what he wants. Yeah, he can, but that doesn't mean you do stuff to affect other businesses, right? Kind of thing. So imagine, right, okay, let me give you an idea, right? Facebook, Meta, Mark Zuckerberg and all of that, right? Facebook, right? We got a Web Squadron Facebook group. Does that mean that Mark can now jump in and go, right, I'm going to delete half your members and I'm going to become a moderator of your Facebook group because you've got, let's pretend the Web Squadron, no, let's use Elementor. Elementor's got what? I don't know, over 150 whatever thousand members in the Facebook group. Does that mean Facebook can jump in and go, right, we're going to become a moderator. We will choose what posts we're going to show. We will kick half the people out. We'll have like a checkbox to decide who can join. And we will now post stuff. And guess what? We're going to change the name from Global Elementor Group to Meta Elemental Group. Because that's kind of where you're going with it. Just because they own it. Right? So you got to, have a have a educated conversation about the problem. Upper Valley says Silver Lake can be crappy and Matt can still be wrong. The approach in the precedent set was not. Yeah, that is the whole thing. Upper Valley web design. That's the whole thing. That's the point why some of us have commented. We're not taking sides. We just think it was the wrong way to do it. And if they're desperate for money, which that's how it comes across, they really need the income and money. It's not all about the hours, because even then they need development hours, which is cost or whatever. They could have done it with a donation system. And even if you do pay tax on that, they still would have made more than what they think they were going to get out of WP Engine. So Kaiser, how to run a website agency. If you get the Elementor course, whether you've got version 1 or version 2, it doesn't matter which one you get that PDF as well, which is how to run a website agency. That is visible within, I've been live for 1 hour, John. Live for 1 hour. But what was I saying? How to run a web design agency business and all of that. That ebook thingamajig is included in version 1 and version 2 of the Elementor course. So if you get the course, or you've got the course, it's there, it's in there. So you can go and have a read of that, Kaiser. It's usually on the, you got it, yeah. Best place to check is go to the version 1 course, and it's on the very first page. You'll see it there, click it, and it's about, I think it's about 50 pages, but I like to think it's quite fun to read because it's not just text. It's like images and little cartoons and stuff. And I try to make it pretty fun to do, to have a look at. You was on the phone. Who to? Was it business related? Was it social related? Was it fun related? Was it live chat with something else related? What was it? What is it all about? Alas, oh well, sounds like it was fun related, John. Yeah, let me just go. Is it Siat? Kiat? Kate? See, I don't know how to pronounce that. Because if that was an R, we would say create. So C8. The app and Play stores take cuts of every app because they have to pay for servers. Why would Matt do the same for free? Yeah, but that's the business model. I think that, again, this is the problem, right? If you look at other, like Apple App Store or other stuff, right, their business model was set up to do that. So if you put an app on and you're selling a premium, you pay a cut. That's their business model. But WordPress's business model was not to take a cut. They made that clear. Open source, all of that. You have to adhere to their guidelines and make sure you update your plugin and all of that and the notes and repository. But if you can't say that, well, if there's an office and if there's a building with loads of tables and I can go in with my laptop, I have to pay for that. So why don't WP Engine pay because they're using WordPress? That was not the same business model. So we have to be very careful of saying, well, they do that, so they have to pay too. Well, no, because WordPress has a different business model. And I'm not I don't want to create an issue here because I don't know you, but this is what I call tunnel vision. Because, you go, well, they do that. Yeah, but they do that because that's what they made clear from the get-go. You want an app, you pay as a cut of it, right? It's a bit like, I've made very clear to lots of businesses that want to advertise or use stuff in the Web Squadron Facebook group. And I go, no, you're never allowed to post a link or anything like that because you've got to go through me first because that's the way it works. To be honest, though, Paul is right. Facebook Meta do kind of do that with their ads. Luckily, though, they don't do it within the group, I think. I'm pretty sure they don't do it. Yeah, they don't do it in the group. But can you imagine if they said, right, like they were like, oh, WP Tuts, that's a pretty big group. You know what? We're now going to take partial control over it or whatever, or change the name. kind of thing. Metatuts. Metatuts actually sounds quite good. I might start a website for that now. Ritesh said, dropping by to say your videos have helped me to build a professional looking website. No way. That's impossible. I'm glad it's doing really well. Yeah, so Fact Fusion, you're not defending, but in Kenya, we can only charge $300 for web development, and any free plugin can take you far. That's totally fine. That is, I totally understand what you're saying, but that doesn't, so like, look, right? Obviously, you're talking about the premium version of ACF, right? If you're going to use repeaters and all of that, but there are other ways you could have done it. And I always feel like, I totally get it. But to then say, well, we don't have so much money. Imagine if everyone in the world took that mindset. Businesses would go out of business. So I get where you're coming from. But I've heard this a lot from people. They go, oh, but I don't earn so much. It's like, look, I don't like to be political. But a lot of people in the UK will walk into a shop, take food, and say, well, I don't want to pay for it. And some people will say, yeah, but they've got kids and they're not earning so much and they need to eat. Don't give me that bullshit, all right? Because half of them are stealing stuff that they're just going to sell on and do what they want with, right? And they're just taking advantage of a situation. But it's one of these things whereby we can say we've not got the money, but then to just go in and steal, you can call it what you want, but it's theft. Now, obviously, you're not a thief because WordPress took the plugin and turned it into SCF. So you just took advantage of a situation. So from that point of view, you're not in the wrong because it was there. There was an opportunity, and we are always on the lookout for opportunities. But it's not something I would want to wish, Totally agree, John. Everyone's got bills, but does that then mean you go in and steal because the shop have got bills? Do you know what I mean? I hear this a lot. People go, yeah, but I've got bills. Yeah. But a lot of people that I see have got bills. They're still wearing nice trainers and they've still got their iPhone and they've still got this and they've probably still got Sky TV and they've still got whatevers. So everyone's got bills, right? But that doesn't mean you steal. Doesn't mean you go and do theft. There's no, because some people have said, right, yeah, but if I go in and take a bag of McDonald's, take a burger from McDonald's and don't pay for it, McDonald's are rolling in business. Yeah, right. But the holding company, McDonald's, make profit, but the individual shop, they live and die by the money they make. Casino business. Did I say casino business? I'm not sure where that came from. Kaiser, Perfect is so good. No monthly cost, you pay it and you build your own server. You can purchase it. Oh, yeah. Eddie, what about pictures and Elementor templates I don't use? Did you test that? Are you talking about the you're talking about the that code I put out on Monday. I tested some, but I can't test all. And at the end of the day, if you're using a template and you've loaded it through, you should recognize what you're using, which is why that code snippet highlights the images that it's that it thinks you've not used. But if you know that's wrong, you don't have to delete it. You don't have to delete it. I'm not sure which message you mean, Eddie. I've just scrolled up. I'm not sure. But yeah, if it's with regards to that code snippet, I know it works for people, but I also know it won't work for everyone, kind of thing. But the beauty about that snippet, it does not delete. You have to delete. So you are in control. Some people have said, oh, but it's giving me a false positive. Yeah, fine. Don't delete it. Keep it, kind of thing, right? You don't have to worry about it. Celebrity Closets. I have a 400-page website and I've spent $4,000 on the design with Elementor. Well, it's not bad, really. That's actually quite cheap. if you ask me to do a 4,000 page website, if the 4,000, why is it 4,000? You're going to have to educate me on this. Is this because you got loads of posts? You got a huge loop grid. You got loads of product. What do you got 4,000? No, sorry, 400. You got a 400 page website. Is that because you're using a bit of code to cover loads of locations, like in America, region, cities, streets or something? Was it a global website with loads of tours and stuff? Help me out on this, because obviously your celebrity closets, right? But 400 pages for $4,000. And like John said, that's $10 per page. Like, seriously? Like, even if you ask me just to do a contact page, I would still charge you $480 for a contact page, even if that contact page just has a title and a contact form. Because there might be a bit of design back and forth or whatever and testing and all that. You're going to have to help me out on this. It's in 60 languages. Flipping heck. That might be the reason. So again, how many pages were actually built and how many pages have been created because of a translator plugin or a directory plugin or I don't know, something that creates per location, homepage per location kind of thing, thingy-midgy thing. Yeah, but Fact Fusion, I'll be honest, right? Yeah, but you say you are lucky in the UK to charge that for a page. You could charge that too. It comes down to how do you come across? What do you put out there? How do you engage? What do you produce? Can you build up that trust and relationship with clients or prospective clients where they're willing to part with their cash for you? So don't just think, oh, but you're in the UK. Oh, you were in the US. There are people in the UK that are building websites for $50, $100. British pounds. There are people in America that will be building websites for $50, whatever. So where you are based does have some relevancy to what you can charge. But at the same time, you could break out of that. So don't just go, well, I'm in Africa, so I'm going to charge that amount. Step up. Step up and start offering a bit more. You can either build 10 websites this month for $300, that's $3,000, or you can build one website for $5,000. Think about it. You got to do 10 websites this month. Got to project, back and forth, scope creep, do this, do that, sign off. Oh my God, got so much to do. Getting confused, panic. Or you can do one website for $5,000. You can take your time, get it done in a month, right? So you got to think a little bit about that. Celebrity closets. What are you saying then? So you're saying the hardest part is editing and the WooCommerce design. Yeah, but can you explain 400 pages? What are the 400 pages you were talking about here? Phil, we manage a WP Elementor site with over 35,000 posts. Wow. Wow. That is good luck on. I'm sure you've got a way of doing it. You know, full site editing. I'm sure you've got a way on doing it. John says, why not find out UK rate? There is no UK rate though, John. The UK rate is what you make the rate to be, right? Just because, say, 20 people near me charge X, I will charge what I want to charge. You don't have to, you can step out of it. Oh, I get what you're saying. You mean like find it out and charge that. Yeah, I mean, I think some people get sucked up into, I advertise on Fiverr, so I will charge X. I do Upwork, so I will charge Y. Because I charge that on Upwork or Fiverr, that's what I'll charge to someone else in my city. And even though they're a huge business making $1 million, I will still charge them that amount. And it's getting out of that kind of mindset, isn't it? It's getting out of that. Absolutely right what Curtis says. It's very easy to build cheap websites. Lean management on Elementor, 400 pages. Yeah, but are they actually 4 different pages? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, look, if you got it built for $4,000, that's a bargain. So if it works for you and you're happy, go for it. CM, roadmap on how to start charging 10 times. I've got a video on that coming out. The video was going to come out next week. In fact, I can tell you now what you do. Okay, I'll explain it to you right now. Okay, let me explain it to you. It's pretty damn simple. Okay, are you ready for me to explain how you go from $300 to $3,000? Are you ready? Okay, right, we're ready. Right. Right, let's start basic. When someone comes to you and they say, right, I want you all to start firing off your prices. Some of you are going to be really high, some are going to be really small, right? I'm not going to give any clarity yet. Here's the question. I am a prospective client, okay? And I go, hey, I want to build a website. No, I want a website. How much will you charge for it? Go, boom. Put down your price. Put down your price. That's all I'm going to say, okay? That's all I'm going to say. I want a website built. Give me what how much will it be? How much is it going to be? Go on, put down your prices. Put down your prices. Come on, John, just put it down. Just put down your price. I don't care how low you are. I don't care how high you are. I don't care. Just put down your price. Don't say any clarity. Don't say what it's for. Just what is your price? What is your price? Mike says how much you got. No, don't do that. Just put down your price, Mike. No, Curtis. Just put down a price. Just put down a price for a website. You're on the right lines, okay? And I'm going to come to that. But what I'm telling you or asking everyone is just put down your price, right? Curtis goes for MLE. What's MLE? What currency is MLE? Sorry for my ignorance, right? But what currency is MLE? MLE currency. What is that? What is MLE? Is that Maldives? No, that's not Maldives. What's MLE? I can't find it. Is there actually a currency for MLE? I don't know. What is that? Anyway, right, so Keys is 1,600. We've got 2,000. WP Tuts is 3 million. You always has to be one. Gary 5,000, 2,500, 1,500, blah, 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 blah. Right, okay, right. Wiki mixing it up. I remember you were doing that on your website. I think you were advertising that. Right, okay. Minimal level engagement. Right, okay. So 1.5 million. John. Right. So this is the mistake a lot of people make, right? On their websites or when they're advertising on Facebook or when they're advertising anywhere, they go, yeah, this is what we're going to build for you. So they go and have like a base price, right? The question is, and a lot of people have said this on the comments below here, is what is the website for? Is it a one-page website? Okay. Imagine that is one page. No, that's a rubbish example. Imagine it's one page, right? That's a one-page website, okay? You got your hero banner and you got some sections, icons and stuff like that. Is it a 5-page website? Is it an e-commerce website? Is it appointment booking? Is it a directory? And even if it's e-commerce, is it 5 products? 100 products? Is it like, if it's appointment bookings, is it like 20 rooms? 500 rooms? Are you building all the rooms? But let's just focus on the website, right? The client might say it's a one-page website. Okay, it's one page, right? But is it a one-page website with 5 sections? Or is it a one-page website with 20 sections? And then you realize it's actually a 5-page website condensed into one page. Because they've got a hero banner, all the stuff, the services, the testimonials. They've got all this stuff, all of it rammed into one page. So you're actually doing 5 pages worth of work on a one page. What you need to do, and a lot of you have hit on this, is you need to clarify what does the client want. So when a client comes to me, and some of you were good to say it, you didn't give a price, but you said it because you did exactly what I would do, is I am not going to give you a quote until I know what you're after. What do you want? because then my price will depend on what I need to do to deliver that. So I'm going to give you an example, right, of what I would be charging. And these are the real life prices that I am saying to you right now, okay? A one-page website, one page, and it might be a day and a half turnaround, maximum 2 days, because there might be a bit of, handover, sign off, back and forth, just modify this one-page website. And that's going to be obviously your WordPress, your page builder. Your one-pager does include your privacy policy, your cookie policy, terms and conditions, if there are any. They are separate pages, okay? No, John, I'm coming on to that. Don't worry about the one-to-one chat. I'm coming on to that, right? They are extra pages, but even for a one-pager, you still need your footer. You can't get away from it, all right? If you're going to include it inside your one-pager, that'll be a really boring one page, but you're still going to have privacy policy cookie. A one-page website is $2,400. No, you don't have to ask. Don't worry, John. I'm getting onto that, but don't worry. So 2,400, okay? If it's a 5-pager, it's not going to be 2,400 times 5 because your home page might be like that. You might have a services page, which will be a bit more. But your contact page, your about page, there'll be some stuff like a gallery page, pretty small. So now we're going up to say 5,000 to 6,000 for a 5-page website. This is not e-commerce. So what you have to think about is a pricing ladder, basic website. So if someone comes to me and they say they want a website, I will say to them, I need more details, but my prices start from 2,400. That's where it starts from. And at that point, they will probably run away. If they're still interested, they will come back with what they want. And now you know that they're okay with that as your starting point, 2,400. Because if they now go, well, I want to do less than that, and this is what I want, I'm not interested. I can tell you now, I do not lower my price. I don't care what problems you got in your life. I don't care what condition you got. I don't care what state your family's in. I don't care where you live. I don't care you lost your job. I don't care because I don't know you. I've never met you, right? And I don't care about your problems, your guilt trip. I don't care. We all have problems. We've all been there at some point in our life where we felt like giving up and, whatever, right? I'm not lowering my price. That's the starting point. After that, it's going to go up. So 1-page website. 5-page, we go up to say 5 to 6. Now, it could go higher if the pages are very complicated or not. I don't know. Maybe you want e-commerce. Now the price goes up to 13,000 because there's more work involved. I know some of you are going to go, really? Yeah, people do pay, right? And then that might be, I'll do your 3 or 5 products and then they do the rest. Maybe they want me to do 100 products. Right, okay, we're going to charge $50, $60 per website as long as they give us the images, the descriptions, the prices, and the variations. Again, you need to understand what you're doing. Maybe it's appointment bookings. Price will then either go like, that way as a tangent, or it adds onto the e-commerce because it has to have e-commerce plus appointment booking. Oh, now we want a directory. Okay, is that with the e-commerce and the appointment booking and all of that? What do they want? And when you start to have your pricing ladder like that, basic, 1-page, 5-page, or per page, you could have a 7-page website. But if 5 of those pages are like image, text, that's it. Nothing really fancy going on. Well, you can be a bit lenient on the cost. And don't just look at it and go, I can do that in an hour. No, assume the client will come back with a change. So make it a 2-hour job. Work out your cost that's going to be required for that. A bit of back and forth. Maybe scope creep if you're not careful. But you have a pricing ladder, okay? And when I know a client is okay with the price, okay, they're okay with the price, that's where we may have to have and I feel like, sorry, let me backtrack. They may have given you a spec or something. And if I feel like I still need to have clarity of that spec, because no deposit's been paid yet, I need a discovery call. And that discovery call is going to be, let me make it clear, it's going to be £90 for 15 minutes, or £160 for 30 minutes, or 300 British pounds for 1 hour. And that's it. And if the client goes, I ain't doing that, fine. I never chase. I do something that a lot of people don't agree with me on, is if I give you a price and you don't come back to me, you will not hear from me. I am not going to email you and say, what did you think? You know, like, I'm free now. I could fit this in. I could do it for you. No. I will never behave like I'm desperate. I don't care. I treat every Let me tell you now, right? This morning, I had someone come over, right? I'm going to just go to my delete box because I've already done it. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It was early this morning. There you go. Someone emailed me with a link to their website. They also said to me 4 other websites they like the look of. They want something like that. They've already got a website. They need the homepage done and another page done and blah, blah, blah. I just went back to them and says, okay, I need to be clear exactly what you want, but the approximate cost will be £6,500 British pounds. And then I deleted the email. So if they come back, I can then go deeper into the details, but I don't care. I treat every project, every proposal that comes in my mailbox or to me as a dead horse. It ain't going anywhere. So I do not psychologically get, oh my God, I got to win this. Oh, I need this. No, I don't care. Because if you treat them like, you know, you tell them the starting price, you tell them, you know, what else you need from them. If they want to work with you, they come back, right? Now, I want to quickly answer some questions, all right? Something about electricians and all of that. Yeah, so John makes a good point, right? That's the other thing as well. So here's the starting price, 2,400. I will then say to the client, based on your spec, I'll do a quick scribble design, and then we move on from there. If the client then says, actually, I want a Figma design, or an Adobe XD design, or a pixel perfect design, I go, sure, okay, fine. That's now £3,000. And they usually go, what? I go, because that's probably going to be now a couple of days, maybe even more work. Because the minute you go to a pixel perfect design, who here is able to do a design and the client's happy with it on the first version? Go on, tell me. How many here have done pixel perfect designs and it's signed off after one? Because usually you do multiple versions. And I'm not doing a free design for you and including that in the price of the website. The website build is a price. The design is a price. When I say design, you know, like if you're doing Figma and all of that, the discovery call is has a cost attached to it. And when it comes to building, I will assess the project. If it's like a quick one, I sometimes take 100% deposit from the get-go. If it's going to be like 5 pages, 50-50. If it's a very complicated project, homepage, pages, WooCommerce, might be some other stuff going on, might be some other stuff, I will take payment in stages. So non-refundable at the start might be 25%. Then we get all that done, right? In fact, the way I like to take payment is 50% at the start. Most of them are 50% at the start. And that's just to get your homepage, right? Installation, plugins, settings, homepage. Once the homepage is done, I now want the other 50. I want payment before I build. You may look at that and go, really? Because some people take 50 at the start, they build, and then you charge 50 at the end. Some clients are crafty. Some of them have access to their host and they're able to go and get the design and, you know, you're like, no, what are you doing? I want 50 at the start and then I do all of that on your homepage and then 50 before I continue. Why? Because the homepage is the most difficult. But when you get that design nailed and you get your colors and branding done and dusted, most of the time, every other page is gravy. Because it's a copy of your homepage Like your services, there's a copy of the homepage. You get rid of sections, you shift things around, you add bits in, boom. Your about page is a copy of the homepage, and you get rid of stuff, add some stuff in, boom. The contact copy of the about page, you get rid of images, and you drop a contact form in. You know, so there's stuff you can do. Right, okay. What's this? So Jonathan says you now have HTML plus and learn how you can build on top of his money. Yep. So Figma, you answer that one. What's my view on Oxygen Build? I don't use it. So I've never used it. God honest truth, never used it. Yeah, but absolutely, John, because there will be a proposal document with the terms and conditions spelling out what they pay, when they pay, what's refundable, what isn't. The fact that they're not just paying for the website to be built, it's your time as well. And if they are a legit business, they'll understand. If it's just someone who wants a website to start a business, they're probably going to try and scam you a bit. Well, what, can I have this? Can I have that? Can we do this as well? Oh, I now want an extra page. Can we just drop it in? No, I've made clear in the terms and conditions what you get and what you do. Curtis, that's tough. So the client pay 100. So let me give you an example, Curtis, right? Okay, let me give you an example, right? There are people who've come to me and they've got the website built, right? They've got full admin rights, they've got backups, they've got the website built. And then they come to me and go, can you assess the page speed performance and give me tips on how to improve? Yeah, I can do that. There's no guarantee I will make your website score any higher, but you pay 100% up front. Or maybe someone comes in and says, like this person, they've got a website fully built, but they want a facelift, which means they've already got backups, they've already got stuff. I said, fine, once we know what we're doing, I'll do your facelift, but you have to pay, or this is what the price could be up front. Because if I take 50% and I go and do a facelift on not 8 pages, it's actually just 3 pages. 2 of them are really minor. So I say 1 and a bit page in totality. If I do all of that, you might not pay. And let's be honest here, right? Sometimes it's excruciatingly difficult and a pain in the ass when you chase someone for payment, especially if they are in control of the host, the website, the backups. What are you going to do? Remove the website? They delete your admin account. You got no access. What are you going to do? Go to court and all of that? Do you want to go through all of that? Headache and all of that? Some people do. It's a pain in the ass. But if something is already built and I'm now coming in and I don't have control of the host and the client's pretty clued up, you know, because what I learned a long time ago is someone wanted a website. And I was so kind and considerate. I said, okay, fine, I'll build it and you can pay me 100% at the end, right? I was so stupid in doing this because they were struggling and I said, look, I'll help you out. Built it, they refused to pay, even though they were happy. So I was like, right, I'll have to delete my work. But they were so clued up because they were in control of their host, they had a backup. So even when I removed the website, they just reinstalled it back again. So there's things that you learn over time. And there is no one size fits all, by the way, right? 50-50 doesn't work for everyone. Some want to go with 30-40, right? Some people don't want to charge a high price. Some people are making an absolute fortune as an agency where they charge a low price. But that's because they get other people to do the work. I'm not going to lie. I've come across people in the UK who are paying they charge like £2,000 for a website, but then they hire someone in the UK or Africa or India or somewhere or Thailand, and they're getting them to build the website for $50, $100, but they make tons of profit. What you do, what works for you, right? And some have said, yeah, but you're exploiting the staff. If you're in Africa and you are getting, say, $100 per website, and you get a brand new website every like week, and that's 4 websites. Oh no, let's say you get like 6 or 7 websites, and they're all built off a template. So pre-built template, you change the logo, the text, the images, and a few other stuff, and you're getting $800 per month just for doing that. And you're not having to look for the work because someone else is giving. You're probably going to be happy. I don't follow that model. I don't like to do that. Okay. I like to pay what's due, and I like to know that people are earning good money. There's a lot of people that do that, right? And they're happy to do that. And it works for them and it works for their staff. Fine. Right. I don't like that. There was one person they were in the Elementor group and then they disappeared. They were charging, like I said, over 2,000 British pounds for a website. But the designer who did all the work, all the build, they were paying them like 100, 150. And I remember them telling me that the person they were using was a student in the UK who was using this as side hustle money. And I don't like it. I don't like that, because I always feel like if I've got someone doing the work, I want them to feel really, really valued. I don't like that exploitative way of doing it. But if it works and they actually are happy with it, kind of thing, you know, there'll be some people in Africa, like we've already discussed over here, where if they're making $1,000 per month because the work is coming in, you know, rolling, you know, what's the belt called in a shop? One of those belts, whatever they're called, right? It keeps coming in. Probably not going to complain much, right? But in terms of pricing, has that or has that not helped some of you to maybe stop and think about your pricing? Yeah, the runner thing, whatever it's called, conveyor belt. That's it. Phil's got it, the conveyor belt. Yeah. It's because the generation game's not been on for a while, you see. You know, what's on the conveyor belt? Cuddly toy. I hope this has got you to suddenly think a little bit about your starting price. You get a quote. Don't just fire off, oh yeah, we can build your website for $1,000. You don't even know what they want. And then when they come back with, oh, it's going to be e-commerce and it's going to be like 50 products and there's variation in sizes. And you're thinking, shit, I said $1,000. This is going to be a bit more. And now they've already said within their email, okay, I can do 1,000. Yeah, 1,000's about right. I was looking at other people, but yeah, I want to work with you. And you're going, oh crap. I want to charge 10,000, but I said 1,000. Oh, flip. They want to work with me. Oh, all right. Yeah, okay, I'll do it. And you're now doing 2 weeks work for 1,000, which might actually be all right for you. You might go, yeah, that's pretty good. Like hell am I doing it for that? Like heck. So, yeah, Mike, because I've done this analogy so many times, right? Think of your website pricing like a car. You go into a dealer, basic model. Then you have the model with the bigger engine, you know, sunroofer and all of that more. Then you want it with the climate control and the alloy wheels and the spoiler and even better engine. You pay a bit more. Then you want the sports model with the 18-inch wheels. And inside it's all kitted out. And you want the sat nav. And you want all of this. These are all the add-ons. And when it comes to pricing, right, you've also got to factor in SEO. Every website should have SEO in your mind. So, I mean basic SEO. So you got to think about, are there any keywords that you need to get into the H1, the H2, you know, stuff like that. But if the client also wants you to submit to Google Search Console, Google Analytics, and maybe you use the Google Site Kit, maybe you're going to use Rank Map or Slim SEO, and you're now going to do a bit more, right? You know, SEO tool, they have to pay for that. £780 for me, right? For the basic of the submissions and just going through the tick box. And it is literally just a tick box, right? But even if they don't pay for that, a good web designer should already be considering. Too many web designers go, well, they don't want SEO, so I'll just build it. You should still be considering keywords. So when they now want to do their submissions, if they get you to do it, you just go connection, connection, connection. Probably 2 hours work, 3 hours work, maybe max, and all of that. Okay. But you want to make sure that you spell that all out, right? You spell it all out. I wouldn't call it a hidden fee because you've spelled it all out. So if they want a website and you said it starts from 2,400, if it's a 6-page website, here's what it is. If it's e-commerce, you go there. You let them know. If you want dedicated SEO, submission, make them understand. Built the website, search engines will probably find it. But if you want to make sure it's going through properly to Google, we have to do the Google Search Console. And you might use the Google Site Kit. You make that all crystal clear, right? And if they want it, they pay for it. Too many people, they give a website cost and they're doing the SEO. Oh, yeah, we'll do the SEO too. Why have you got desperate? Why have you said, yeah, we'll do the SEO for you. We'll do it within the cost. The clients say they were considering other people. And if a client ever says to me, because this has happened, well, there's someone else who's charging a bit less and they said they'd do this and bung it in for free and they'd do all of this. I'm like, hey, I'm not going to argue with that. Go for it. I really wish you all the best, but you know where I am, right? And if things ever change in circumstances or things go wrong, you know what my prices are. But just bear in mind that even if the website is partially built, because I'll be inheriting something, my prices will stay the same. But look, I wish you all the best. And you don't chase. Treat every potential project like a dead horse. So even if they don't come back to you, you don't care, right? If they come back and go, well, I can only pay half of that, because you don't care, you won't go, I'll drop my price down for you. I ain't doing that, all right? I am not doing that. So CM says that when you're starting out, you may be short of clients. Well, the thing is, right, CM, okay, let me give you an idea, right? This is I revealed this very early on in the YouTube thing, right? So we started our channel in June 2021. I'm going back to CM's point here about YouTube, social media, all of that. At that time when we started, about 2 or 3 months later, and remember at that time, our channel was something like, I think it was close. No, it wasn't close. It was about 1,500 subscribers at that time. And, people come and go, whatever. There was like an Elementor of a day. There was an Elementor day and I was invited to do a quick talk. And I was asked a question. In the last 12 months, and the channel had only been live for like June, July, August, September. I think it was about 5 months we'd been a YouTube channel. We had done 82 clients in the last 12 months. That was nothing to do with the YouTube. Wasn't even all down to social media. Wasn't. It was down to the way that we incentivize clients to refer. I've made this clear so many times. Hey, we did a website for you. If you refer someone to build, a website and we build, we'll pay you $100. 100 British pounds. Believe me, when clients know other businesses, they do refer because they wouldn't mind getting a little bit of money in their back pocket. Yeah, they don't mind getting in their back pockets. Trust me, it does work. So Respect says he's very worried because AI builders. Look, if people want to use AI builders to do a basic website and they're happy, that's like people using a GoDaddy page builder or the Bluehost page builder. If people want to do that, or they want to buy a theme or like an Astra template and just go logo, header, images, words, fine. People will do that. But real businesses, They want a bespoke, unique looking website that works for them and ticks all the boxes to help them stand out against their competitors. So don't lose sleep over that. Fabian, what do you think about Modular DS? I wrote 1 to 2 comments but never got an answer. What do you mean by Modular DS? Sorry, I don't know. Sorry, Modular DS. Can you just clarify? Maybe I'm missing a trick here or something like that. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Mark Zemansky, how you doing? Incentivize. Exactly, right? Because you know when you say to a client, hey, I know you love what we did for you. Please don't forget to refer. Why are they going to refer? Hey, we'll give you an Amazon gift card for $5. Get lost. I'm going to give you $100. I'm going to give you £100. And that is virtual money because you don't pay it until the referral converts into a job. And when it converts into I'm not talking about discovery call, right? That's not a website build. When the website is built and the other client pays, you then take $100, which you already accounted for. You already accounted for that. You pay. And then you say to the other client, hey, if you refer, think of it like a friendly pyramid scheme. Okay? It's a friendly pyramid scheme without the hassle of a pyramid scheme, if you get what I'm saying there. Kaiser, are you saying you don't get as many clients from you? No, I have. Kaiser, I have had clients on the back of YouTube. But a lot of people think that YouTube has got me more. That is not the truth of it at all. Okay? Seriously, that is nothing like that. What YouTube does is open up doors for me to meet other people, to be invited onto podcasts, to build your brand. But think about this, right? How many premium businesses out there do you think watch YouTube videos about web design? I want you to ponder that for a moment. How many? What they will do is they will reach out to people. Hey, you got a website built. Who did that? Oh, do you know anyone? Oh, yeah, there's that guy and he does this and that. Yeah, he posts on social media. Oh, yeah, he lives in Leicester. Oh, no, yeah, my cousin. Yeah, he builds websites. Friend of mine built a website for them. It was in the health industry. They then let me know about other people. Well, no, they didn't let me know. She told other people who then came back to me. So I bought an eye clinic website and then 12 more were generated, right? And every so often you revise your prices, and the more you build, the more you become known. Psychotherapy website, did it for 1, 3 more came on the scene. Did a directory website, 2 more came on the scene, based on referral and what you do kind of thing. Very rarely do I build websites locally though, believe it or not, John. Very rarely, because a lot of them are tight asses, okay? I don't know if they got a tight ass. I can't comment on that, but they're tight asses. But when you build a website for one person and they tell other businesses, it spreads. Son's here. What's up? Come on, over here.
Hi.
Come here. How was your day at school?
Good.
Was it good?
Yeah.
You're not even on camera.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not. Oh, yeah, you are. You are. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong camera. This is a delay over here. Everything all right?
Yeah.
All right. You want to go change your clothes and eat?
No.
Go and change your clothes. Hang on, are you wearing your come here a moment. Did you wear those to school?
No.
Have you just got changed? Because they're his pajamas. His bottoms. I'm wondering what he was wearing then. All right, mate, go and eat, okay.
I'm just going to sit here and stroke the cat.
All right, okay. Remember, though, at 8 o'clock, I want to watch episode 3 of Skeleton Crew. So you can play on your PlayStation until 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. There you go, everyone. Skeleton Crew is not bad. If anyone's not watched it, so far, first 2 episodes, it's pretty all right. People have called it like Goonies in space. I feel like it really is like Goonies in space. He doesn't hold the cat properly. I keep telling him, the way you hold the cat.
If his arms are up there, I'm going to
Come over here. They can't see you.
Hi.
Does that cat look happy to you?
Yeah.
Does he look happy?
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, spread your arms wider. Spread your arm. That's it. There you go. There you go. I think he wants to go down. Okay, cool. Is that a medical condition? Huh? No, he's talking about something else we were talking about earlier. I don't know. What agreements have you seen using the Powered by Design company? Huh? What agreements have you seen using the Powered by Design company in the footer? Not sure I get that question, 20.10. 20.10 sounds like a plugin with loads of updates. Right, okay, everyone. Right, I am now going to crash out. We've been live longer than I intended. So yeah, I'm going to crash out now. He's on my stepper. It's quite rubbish. We're using my stepper. He hasn't got the agility like I have. Do you want to go eat your dinner? What you got? Tea dinner or something? Yeah. All right. Okay, cool. Right, I'm now gonna drop off. I mean, it's been a pretty good chat, really. And I have got everything I've kind of told you. I already had a video planned out. When I say planned out, it's already uploaded. It might come out next week because I've just scheduled 2 more new videos, which are crackerjackers. All right, like proper. I'll give you a clue. One of the videos next week that's coming out is transforming child containers. Aha! You're gonna love it. You're gonna so love it. And one of the other ones is I can't remember what it was now. Hold on. What was it? Stay there, everyone. Don't go. What was it? Masking without masking. It's another good one, okay? Anyway, look, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the show. Take care. See you all soon. Bye. I now have to cancel, and my menu's all over the place, so goodbye. Stay safe. Go and fill your tummy up with something and enjoy Pepsi Max, the drink for the future generation. Goodbye. Bye, 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 bye.